So for those of you who don't know, basically everyone on the internet, my name is alyssatkawaii, and today we're going to be doing some cooking. Yesterday I finally saw A Star is Born featuring Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, and I have to say the movie was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's been getting kind of cold, so I kind of wanted to do some soup making and, you know, just have a lazy kind of comfy day inside. Okay, you caught me. It's not really that cold, but I saw that movie and I feel like I really need to emotionally recuperate, and I just don't feel like doing anything today. So being just an internet person and millennial, I guess, I'm a really big fan of Chrissy Teigen, or Teigen, I guess is now how it's pronounced, but I'm still gonna say Teigen, I'm sorry if she ever sees this. So I'm a really big fan of hers, and I've bought both her cookbooks, the Cravings one and Cravings Hungry for More. So today I wanted to test out a recipe from the second book. I've seen on Twitter people tagging her in the recipe for the creamy tomato soup, so I really wanted to try to make that today. For her recipe for creamy tomato soup, I also saw it included a recipe for Parmesan crisps, which was just like baked Parmesan cheese. However, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Now, I know she recommended that, but when it comes to tomato soup, I really love just grilled bread and cheese, and I just think that tomato soup and grilled cheese are the perfect pair in holy matrimony, forever and ever gonna last. So today, instead, I'm gonna be making a recipe for grilled cheese that I actually found in her cookbook as well. It's the sweet and spicy brie cheese. I'm a really big fan of cheese, but I usually just get those really big value packs of shredded mixed cheese, and I use that for everything that I need cheese for. But today I bought brie, which is a new adult thing, I guess, that I'm gonna do. And I was so scared at the grocery store when I was buying it because it didn't have a price tag, and I'm like, oh my god, this is my first fancy cheese purchase. But it was only like $6, so it's not that bad. But today I'm gonna be using the whole thing, or just about the whole thing, so I'm kind of curious as to see how it's gonna turn out. So I went to the grocery store and I got all my ingredients. First things first, I think I'm gonna make the tomato soup. Now, also, a little skeptical, the tomato soup calls for garlic, and I've never actually sort of, chopped and peeled garlic before, so I'm gonna have to look up a YouTube video to figure out how to do that. So for the creamy tomato soup recipe, it looks like we need to cook the onion and the garlic first, and then we're gonna be adding everything else like the tomatoes and the juice and stuff to the saucepan. So first things first, we need about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and I know I could just guesstimate, but I feel like I really want to do this right to see how it would turn out and taste exactly as if it came from her cookbook. So putting in the olive oil. So while I'm waiting for the oil to heat up, I'm going to chop off my 1 medium onion. So Chrissy in her recipe didn't really state what kind of onion to get, so I just got a jumbo yellow onion, and yeah, jumbo was the only size they had. She said she wanted like a medium onion, so I'm gonna do maybe about half to 3/4 worth of this onion, because I like a lot of onion, but I don't think it needs to be overpowered, you know what I mean? So hopefully that's okay. And I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to not cry, but I can already feel the tears. When I was working at Chipotle, I had a manager who she would spend her whole shift just peeling and chopping onions, like 8 hours worth of just doing that, and she wouldn't cry. She wouldn't cry at all. And I remember I would have so many people come up and ask me, they're like, how does she not cry? And honestly, to this day, she is the toughest woman I've ever known or have ever seen who can do that. Whereas for me, whenever I chop 1 onion, I cry so hard, like Titanic, Notebook, Marley and Me, A Star is Born, go see it, no spoilers. Cry and just like bawl my eyes out. And god, I'm only chopping like half of this onion and I can already feel it. Don't see the tears yet, but I can feel them. All right, so I have about this much onion. Oh man, I have about this much onion. I think that's good. Maybe I'll add some more later, but for now I'm gonna start cooking it. Holy crap. Oh my god. All right, so I have the onion going. Now it's time to do the garlic. I really don't know how to do this, so I'm just gonna do my heckin' best. So I didn't actually look up a video on how to peel garlic or anything, but so the first 2 cloves of garlic that I had, I just tried peeling it with my fingernail, and the first one did all right, but the second one was kind of It took a while and the peel kind of stabbed me underneath the fingernail. So I just thought, what the heck? I'm just gonna try the way that they do it, you know, on cooking videos, like when they smash it underneath their knife using their hand. And I didn't even look up the technique or anything, but it worked really well. So if you're making this soup or, I don't know, need garlic or something for your vampires, I mean, Halloween is around the corner. I would definitely recommend doing it that way. Maybe watch a video first, but so yeah, so I'm just about done chopping the garlic. I can hear the onions and they're getting about clear. So once I finish this, I'm gonna add the garlic and we'll get to the rest of the steps that the tomato soup needs. Okay, so I added in the garlic and it smells really good. It mostly just smells like onions because it's mostly onions in here, but I don't know, what do you think? I feel like maybe I didn't have enough onions because the tomatoes, it's actually a pretty big can, but I don't know, I think I'm just gonna go with this because I don't want to cry again. But yeah, it's starting to look and smell pretty good. So now we have to just add the tomatoes, the chicken broth, salt, sugar, and pepper, and then we're gonna let it boil for a bit. So I actually got this jar and it's surprisingly organic. And it was cheaper than the other one, so pretty cool. All right, let's do this. All right, she also included a note at the bottom of the page to just use kitchen shears and snip the tomatoes in the can, so that's what I'm gonna do. With these scissors, I feel like one of those Costco sample people. Do you know what I mean? When they just use their scissors and kind of chop up the meat or sausage or whatever they're giving out so that you can have a properly portioned sample. No? Anyone? Just me? I'm a weirdo? Okay, that's fine. Sugar, 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 sugar. What if I just like dump this whole thing? That'd be bad. All right, so it looks like I have everything in the pot. We need to simmer this for about 15 minutes and then we'll put it in the blender and we'll add the cream. Because we're waiting for the pot to simmer, I'm actually gonna go ahead and start the sandwich. So for the sandwich, I first need to butter the bread and then add the onion slices, the brie, and the few peach slices. So it looks like we're just gonna put it all together. And yeah. I'm just cooking for myself and it says it serves 4, so maybe I'm not gonna use all my ingredients, but I don't know, who knows? Depends on how hungry and how good this is. So I just bought like the most basic white bread. It's kind of like a freshman sorority girl, you know, a new high top white Converse, ready to slay the day. Oh my god, that's so cringy. But you know what I mean, it's white, it's American, it's white as hell. It gets red if it's out in the sun for a couple minutes bread. That is the bread that I got. All right, so I've just buttered the bread and I placed it buttered side down. And now it says to put about 1 tablespoon of Thai chili sauce on the unbuttered sides. Now, if you haven't had Thai sweet chili sauce, this is one of my favorite condiments in the world. It's so good. I love having like egg rolls or fried dumplings or, oh, it's a new bottle, or pretty much anything with it. It's just so good and it's so versatile and I love that it's on a sandwich. So this was one of the reasons that I picked the sandwich is to have an excuse to buy this bottle. All right, so I'm gonna take about 1 tablespoon and I'm gonna spread it across. Oh, it smells so good. I don't know, I'm just gonna eyeball it because unlike the tomato soup, I actually have experience making grilled cheese, and honestly I feel like you can't go wrong with too much of this sauce. All right, it kind of looks like jam in the camera, and we're done with that step. Oh, so good. All right, so now we need a piece of brie, a few peach slices, and some onion. Oh boy. So if you don't know, yellow, the one that I was chopping earlier, is one of the softest, nicest onions in the sense that it's less likely to make you cry. One of my cooking teachers told me, I took kind of like a cooking class in college, and that's what my professor told me, that if you're going on a date, and you're cooking for someone, always get a yellowish onion so that you'll be less likely to cry. Well, as you can see by the beginning of this video, it definitely made me cry. So this other onion that I got, which is the red onion, is definitely gonna make me cry. Not looking forward to it. It's also a much stronger oniony flavor, so I think I'm definitely not gonna be using as much because I don't want to overpower everything. Alright, the good thing about this onion is that since it's going in my sandwich, I don't need to dice it, so I just have little pieces right here. But even just like chopping them a little bit into these pieces, I can already feel myself crying. So I'm not gonna put too much since I'm only making 2 sandwiches, all for myself. And the tomato soup, yes, this is all going in my belly. Why did you even ask? Onto my sandwich. All right, and then the only thing that's missing is the cheese and the peach. All right, so I got my onion right here on one side, you know, since I gotta put that piece of bread on top. So that's about how much onion I put. Again, not too much because I don't want to overpower the sandwich. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Has anyone ever heard that song? No, just me. Okay, well, I got a peach. And I haven't had peaches for so long, but I just thought it would be really interesting to have it in a sandwich. So hopefully it turns out really good and awesome, and I'll buy more peaches. Okay, so I'm not gonna show you the peaches on the sandwich, but just because I didn't really do a good cutting job, and this peach isn't exactly the prettiest fruit, I would say, but you know, there's peaches, just so you know. All right, so now for the brie, which is the part that I'm pretty excited about. I've never eaten brie in a sandwich, I think. And it's just a big block of cheese, which me as a cheese lover, this is my thing. And I'm also really excited that she says put a slice on top, because I didn't have a cheese grater or anything if that's how you eat brie, so I guess I need to start putting slices on. All right, so here it looks. It said that in her recipe that 8 ounces of cold brie was enough for 4 sandwiches, and I'm not entirely sure, but this is my first time ever really working with brie, so I didn't know how to cut off the rind and just leave the cheese part. The rind is like the harder sort of outer part, and she said you could eat it, but I didn't really want to eat it, so I probably wasted a lot of cheese just trying to cut that off. But I just got the cheese and started pulling it apart and then putting it on the sandwich. So I'm almost out of cheese for nearly 2 sandwiches. So these are gonna be either really cheesy or I just wasted a lot. I'm hoping that they'll turn out really cheesy though. I'm gonna let this take a break for a while. My tomato soup that's on the stove has cooled down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the blender because I don't have a food processor, but I'm gonna put it in the blender so that we can chop up all those tomatoes, and then we're gonna add the cream, and then I think it's done. By the way, this tomato soup smells really good. Just a little word of warning, I followed the recipe exactly to a point. She said in her recipe to leave a little vent so that the steam could be released, but I was about to until I realized that this blender is actually really full. Now, my blender is like, I don't know, kind of small, maybe standard size, so just be wary of that if you're gonna leave a little vent, because I know that if I would've, that this would have gone splattering all over the place. So just be careful of the potential mess this could make. But yeah, I just blended it all up and it smells really good. So let's put the cream in to finish it off. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna take my sandwiches and I'm gonna heat them up on my little griddle over here so that we can finally try them together. I love that there's like a copious amount of butter on these 2 pieces of bread so that it turns out really good, and I keep just licking my hands. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so I finally got everything done. Looks and smells really, really good. So first things first, I think I'm gonna try the soup. This is pretty darn good. You know, in a tomato soup, I kind of want herbs, so I think this would have benefited greatly if she had put like rosemary or thyme or, you know, a little bit of the herby taste. But to be honest, this is really good. It's almost like addicting in its simplicity. It was so simple, super easy to make, and I feel like that this would be a really great pair with a grilled cheese or Parmesan crisp if you prefer it. It's super creamy and light and tastes like how a tomato soup should. It's pretty good, and I honestly I would recommend making it. I think, as I said, that if you put maybe some herbs, you know, bring that sort of earthy taste to it, I think it would make this, soup even better. It's amazing as it is, but can be greatly improved with a few herbs. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, now for the grilled cheese. I'm really excited because I'm not too sure how I feel as a person about brie, but I mean, all right. So let's see how this looks. All right, so let's see if this has any cheese pool. Ooh, okay. All right, pretty good. Now, let's see how it tastes. That's pretty fucking good. The crispness of the onion was a really nice touch. I don't think it needed it too much because I feel like the flavors here are just working so well together. I think the brie and the sweet chili sauce complemented each other nicely. And you know, I don't think I'm that big a fan of brie on its own, but I feel like when it's paired with the buttery bread and the sweet chili sauce and even the peach, it makes for a pretty good pair. Now, my peach wasn't too ripe. I tried it before I put it in the sandwich, so I don't think it entirely contributed that much to my sandwich, but it is a nice touch, and I really applaud Chrissy for being able to put a fruit in a grilled cheese, especially when you think of grilled cheese and you just think of bread and cheese. Bread, butter, and cheese. But I feel like this sandwich is really freaking good, and I think if I had a riper peach and maybe I put in either a milder onion or maybe even a little less onion, this sandwich is out of this world, and I think I'll definitely be making again. So overall, I think both of these recipes are really good. I think the tomato soup is awesome, super simple, super easy to make, delicious. But I think the real star of the show is the sandwich. I wasn't too sure about how I was gonna feel, but man, this sandwich is awesome. It's really good. I definitely recommend eating it, trying to make it. Also, again, the sandwich, super easy, super simple to make. You might not have brie on hand. You might have to go get that at the supermarket and you'll have an adventure with that, but try to make it. It's delicious. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll put out new videos every so often that I feel like it, and I'm gonna go back to eating my sandwich and eating my soup. I hope you guys like it. See you next time. Bye. Oh my god.